9 Kaapse Kansel Facebookblad en dis waar ek lieflik met Lamise gaan gesels rondom die organisasie en wat hulle ook doen daarso by ICASI Creative Media. Now, Lamise is recognized for strategic vision, operational excellence, and ability to drive growth in competitive markets. She is skilled in managing diverse teams and known for her strong leadership, integrity, and unwavering commitment to excellence. With over 2 decades of expertise in multimedia production, Lamise has led top projects within industry-leading productions companies and broadcasters. As the managing director of ICASI Creative Media, an NPO she co-founded in 2012, she oversees the delivery of innovative multimedia training programs for aspiring content creators in rural areas. Driven by passion and commitment to giving back, Lamise creates high-quality work with integrity, meticulous diligence, and an exceptional ability to build lasting relationships that result in authentic and impactful productions. Lamise, dis 'n mondvol. But where did
When
it
you
start?
say it like that, it
Yes, yes. Where did it start?
I think my love for media began, I think it was way back in 1999, if I must say. I started at SABC and then went from SABC. That time the 6 o'clock news was Cape at 6.
Yes.
And then I moved on to ETV because ETV bought over Longcliffe Studios, the building.
Yes, yes.
And I worked for ETV for about 7 to 8 years, and then went into agency life, little bit of production company, post-production. And that's really where I honed my media skill. I always had a fondness for training.
Yes.
And I love the whole upskilling, mentoring side of things.
Yes.
So when ICASI, or the opportunity of ICASI came around, it was sort of a no-brainer. I met my one director and business partner. I think you might know her. Her name is Lika Burning. She's an Afrikaans actress. She was in Liefling and a couple of other Afrikaans Debale series. So she's very well known in industry. And that's really where ICASI grew, because Lika and I got together. She was out in Plettenberg Bay, and we honed the training side of things for ICASI.
Sy is pas ingeskakel het ons gesels met Lamise Inglis. Sy is die managing director van media ICASI Creative Media. En ja, dis die stem wat jy nou hoor. Sy gesels so rondom haar organisasie en Lamise, I think the second question that I want to ask you, if there is someone listening right now and they just tuned in, what would you say ICASI is doing? Just for in layman's terms, yeah.
So what we noticed with ICASI, originally we decided we're going to start training sort of rural youth and peri-rural youth, like small town youth out in the garden route.
Yes.
We decided we're going to train them in film and media production. But with the whole ambit of internet and social media content creation, we soon realized that there's a lot more job opportunity in the world of social media for that unemployed youth.
Right.
And we then sort of adapted our training syllabus to include a lot more social media content creation development, especially because the youth can utilize their mobile devices to create content, and they don't need expensive cameras and laptops to edit and all of that. So we train these youth to use their mobile devices to film and edit the content, and obviously to develop a thought-provoking story. So we usually use icons in their communities and train them how to find a newfound respect for the people in their communities who play crucial roles, and maybe the aunties that are hosting the soup kitchens and those kind of things, and really see them as community heroes. And we found that gives the youth a newfound respect for their elders and their communities.
Wow, it must be so impactful and so life-changing for some
Yes.
youth there, and I can imagine the breakthroughs and highlights that they experience, and I want to touch on that a little bit later. But maybe just before that, what were some of the challenges that the organization faced?
Well, the challenge always is, being a non-profit organization, is funding. What I didn't realize coming into non-profit is that most of the funders fund projects, but
Okay.
no one really funds operational costs. And in order for a non-profit to remain operational for years, you need
Yeah.
to cover salaries, you need to cover rent,
Yes,
you
yes.
need to cover electricity, etc., etc. Something else that is unique to ICASI and maybe other non-profits that work in rural spaces is that our youth don't have a one-size-fits-all logistical cost, which means some of our learners, let's say if we're training the West Coast,
Yes.
some of our learners might walk 15 minutes. Others might be an hour or 2 hours out of town. So then we have to travel those learners to the training venue.
Yes.
And donors don't always understand those. You know, you can't say, well, I'm hiring a bus for these learners, but these learners can walk. You know, donors
Yes.
don't always understand because they have set amounts that they donate.
Yes.
So I think around the costing side of things, that's always been a challenge. But we are a registered PBO, which means we can issue an 18A certificate
Yes.
for any donations that we receive. And we also try and encourage people to put their money towards training these youth who don't often have the opportunities to get this creative media training. It's always about woodwork and engineering, and I mean, I'm
Yes.
not putting that down in any way, but
Yes.
that's not for everyone. Some people
Right.
are creative,
Right,
and
right.
especially the youth of today, everything's around their mobile devices, it's
Yes,
all around
yes,
cell phones.
Yeah.
So why not get them trained up to utilize their phone to earn an income and thereby supporting small businesses, because they can create social media content for businesses that can't afford big
Right.
production.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Oh, I love that. I love that. Sure. With a task like this and with a project like this, you obviously not a one man alone person. You probably have a team that assists with and getting people in to actually do the actual training. Is
Yeah.
that the case? Yeah.
So we are a very small team, and when
Yeah.
I mean small, I mean two. So not one, but two.
Yes.
We two permanent staff members.
Okay.
I've got a really good, strong administrator who just keeps everything
Fantastic.
afloat and
Yes.
manages my diary and reminds me of things,
Yeah.
because sometimes my head's in the clouds.
Yes.
But we also have recently we have someone that's doing new business development and looking into new areas and even across border, like North Africa, because
Wow.
we've gotten quite a bit of interest from places like Rwanda and Zambia to bring our training out there.
Okay. Fantastic.
But we have a really strong team of facilitators that come on board on a per project basis.
Okay.
They literally step off the film sets and come into our classes and really bring that hiss of film set to the
Yes,
class.
yes, yes,
And
yes.
that is often life-changing for our learners, because they don't get to experience that that vibe.
Yes.
You
yes,
know,
yes,
and
yes.
especially the actors that come off set and they
Yes.
step into class and they come and chat and sit next to our learners. It's life-changing.
Yeah.
I remember last year we had like some of the St. Ooster actors that came into class,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
and it was amazing. Yeah, you had to see the stars in the eyes.
I can imagine. I just came from St. Worcester yesterday, and that's exactly the thoughts that went through my mind. You know, when I thought of youngsters experiencing this, and just the oomph that you get when you interact with these actors. Absolutely amazing. I can imagine how people get inspired while they're sitting there and being tutored by these amazing actors and film producers and yeah, and it's. Wow, it's amazing how how you can take it from your social media to big productions like that. And I guess some kids have been eligible to sort of step out and to put themselves into a network where they can engage with filmmakers and that sort of thing.
Absolutely. So we've got a really good relationship with the film industry.
Fantastic.
This will actually be the third year that we, the official CSI partner for for MIP Africa in Fame Week Africa. So Fame Week Africa is a big content market that
Yes.
happens at the end of every year, where
Yes,
all
yes.
the filmmakers get together.
Yes.
So we the official partner for MIP Africa, which is the film side of things. And the film production companies do understand if they film out in any little dorpie, they must please
Yes.
notify us.
Okay.
And then we
Beautiful.
see which learners are available, and we try and place them on the set to get some life experience on set as well.
Yes. What's been the highlights for you? One or two?
There were so many. There were so many. One story comes to mind. Carlisle Ludwig. He was one of our learners from Renendal, a little town in Neisner. And Carlisle is such a humble, quiet person, but he just loved everything about media. And he actually ended up completing our workshops, and he won some awards. He's now a very well-known film editor in the garden route. Most production companies that are in the garden route and based there know Carlisle. And he's just flying high. But there are so many stories like that. Students from the West Coast that came out of Saldanha Bay, and even places like Veldrif, and they've just skyrocketed their content on social media as well. Just making very thought-provoking messages. That is quite key.
Fantastic. Wow, I can't believe our time is running out, but that's such a beautiful highlight, and I'm sure it's still coming as you progress and as you guys break new ground as well. What's the vision like for 2024? Just in the without oversharing. I don't want Ikasi to share all the gems and secrets going forward.
So yeah, we've got a couple of really exciting projects. There's I'm not going to mention the name, but there's one international broadcaster that's approached us to make specifically content around musicians, which is, that's very exciting. So we're going to be calling on all the local content creators to support us, and obviously our students and our alumni will get involved to take out the mobile devices and go into the communities and find those musical gems and the creative artists, and actually develop little mini 2-minute documentaries around those musicians and those artists. So that's a very exciting one, which is going to be breaking the news soon.
I can imagine the amount of opportunities that's going to come from that, possible opportunities that will come for young artists from our local communities.
Yeah.
Wow. That's also amazing. What do you think would be some of the, if there's someone listening now and they are remotely, but they would like to assist the organization, how could they do that?
I think the best way would be to really assist us, just get some money in the bank for operational costs, because we really want to get to a point where our operational costs aren't coming out of our project grants.
Right.
We'd like to use 100% of our project grants for the projects. And obviously, if we can get some operational costs, that would be ideal. And if you go onto our website, there are links there where you can just, fill in your details, and you can even become a monthly donor, and just donate on an ongoing basis. And we can obviously issue an 18A certificate for that.
Yes.
Yes.
And that brings us to the actual contact details. If there's some social media handles, because ek dink almal is nou baie excited. Almal is nou baie excited om daai details te kry en om deel te raak van Ikasi Media Creative, and just to see what's on the forefront for them, what opportunities can come from that, and maybe there's partnerships and collaborations that can also come from this amazing chat. If you can share that with us, please.
So our main source of contact is our website.
Okay.
And it's ikasimedia.com. So Ikasi, IKASI, and then media, no dashes, no spaces. It's all one word, and then .com. on that, you'll find links to everything. Our Facebook, our Twitter, everything's on there, and our YouTube. Please have a look at the content that the learners have made. All the short films and little documentaries are on there. And then we also have a WhatsApp number, if I can share that.
Yes, you may.
It's 081-219-3526. And that WhatsApp number is always manned, so you will get a response. And if there's any questions or anything, we'll answer. And that goes directly to our administrator. So it's not, someone who doesn't know the info.
Yes, yes.
So
You can
you'll
share
be
that number with us again.
081-219-3526. And if you search for us on Facebook, Facebook, it's Ikasi Media.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Lamise, you've been a blessing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. Wow, that was the Managing Director, Lamise Inglis, from ICASA Creative Media. And wow, amazing work that they do. You are welcome to tune into Facebook. You'll be able to get our full interview over there. Rita Walker sing vir ons verder. All joy, no stress. En dan net daarna is Chantel met alweer.
Bybelstudie, berading,